Breaking news out of the Watch Fox Content Center. In the last hour, a Richland County jury finding convenience store owner Rick Chow not guilty of murder in the death of 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Belton. It took 8 hours of deliberations. That verdict coming in shortly before 9 tonight. Moments ago, the attorney for the teen's family saying the system failed tonight. Now,
Man, that's hard. 14 years old, such a young man to lose his life to violence like that at the hands of somebody who's practically elderly.
Carmack Belton's death rocked the Midlands in May of 2023. Chow and his son chasing the teen out of his store in Northeast Columbia, believing the 14-year-old had stolen water.
Water? Man, chasing somebody down for some water? I mean, I understand, no, I understand. Business owners, they are operating on a small profit. But dang, profit margin ain't that tough that you gotta take somebody's life over water.
100 yards later, a deadly shot fired after Chow's son shouted that the teenager had a gun.
So you chase him for 100 yards. Do you know how long, in case you don't know how long 100 yards is, that's about the length of a football field. It is the length of a football field. And to chase somebody for 100 yards over some water is just crazy.
Megan Gagno has been in the courtroom for the entire trial, just got back from the Richland County Courthouse because, as we understand, things were getting a little rowdy outside that courthouse. Now, you just talked to the defense and the family's attorney. What's going on here?
Yeah, well, Brian, after nearly 8 hours, the jury unanimously reaching that not guilty verdict. Rick Chow has been behind bars for 3 years while this case worked its way through the courts, and tonight he walks free. Cyrus Carmack Belton was 14 years old on Memorial Day weekend in 2023 when he went into Chow's Shell station on Park Lane Road in Columbia and was accused of stealing 4 bottles of water. Chow.
4 bottles of water. That is wild. Like, I understand them chasing him if he looked like he took some water, but to pull out a firearm.
And his son Andy chased the teen more than 130 yards down Springtree Road before Rick Chow fired one shot, hitting Cyrus fatally in the back.
Wow.
Now, the defense argued Cyrus pointed a gun at Andy Chow and that Rick fired to save his son's life.
Oh, so the little one had a gun. Huh. That does change things, but I don't even, like, that's so avoidable, you know? That's so avoidable over some water.
Prosecutors countered that because the bullet hit Cyrus in the lower back. It proved he was running away when that shot was fired. Now, 4 eyewitnesses testified they never saw Cyrus raise a weapon. And during deliberations today, jurors came back into the courtroom to ask Judge Heath Taylor to walk them through the definition of malice and the difference between expressed and inferred malice before returning to the deliberation room and reaching this verdict once again after 8 hours. Now, it is worth noting back in November of 2025, a judge denied Chow immunity under South Carolina's Stand Your Ground law and denied him bail, ruling he was a danger to the community and a flight risk. That ruling did not stop this jury from ultimately finding him not guilty. The Belton family's attorney, Todd Rutherford, says the system failed tonight and the verdict cannot be understood.
You know, I went to the store the other day and it said no backpacks. And I'm like, man, I'm a grown man. I'm wearing my backpack in the store. I was working out and I like to keep my water in my backpack because it adds weight and I can hop in there, get some hydration and keep it moving. I like to run with a whole bunch of bottles of water in my backpack, which was crazy. So I never really understood. I get kids coming there and they steal, but I guess over the day or over a week, over the course of a month, you could lose hundreds of dollars if you really add it up. You know what I mean? A few kids come and take some Gatorades, some of this, some of that. So I'm sure it probably rocked the store's budget, but I just don't understand how it got to that point that, you know what I mean, that violence occurs. You know, You could have called the police. You could hire security. You could do anything. But to take it upon your hands when you already know how this is going to play out.
Chow's defense says although it's a difficult decision, it was the correct decision and sent their condolences to the family.
It's tragic. Feel sorry for the family. As I said during my opening statement, my heart goes out to them, but 14-year-old kids should not be roaming the streets of Columbia or South Carolina with semi-automatic pistols loaded and ready to fire.
Oh, so he definitely had a pistol. Okay. I mean, this case may be a little bit deeper than what we see here. You know, maybe they had interactions with each other before. Maybe the young boy was running the streets terrorizing stuff. You know, rest in peace to that young man. But dang, this is just sad. This is horrible. This is a tragedy.
What's clear is that black people in 2026 have a long way to go.
Not for real.
The question kept coming up, why does a 14-year-old need a gun? The question was answered when he was shot dead in the streets 130 yards from a store where he did absolutely nothing wrong.
So if he ain't had no water in his backpack, and hey, he right. That's why the little youngin had a joint, because he didn't want to become a statistic. He ain't want to become a victim, and unfortunately, he did become a victim. I would love to get more details about what their relationship was, how often this little boy went to that store. Did he live in the vicinity? I don't know.
The question was answered when this jury found him not guilty today. The question was answered because a 14-year-old child shot dead in Richland County got no justice.
Now, attorney Todd Rutherford saying tonight that the family plans to file a civil lawsuit in the case, arguing that Chow needs to be held accountable in some sort of way. Cyrus Carmack Belton would have been a rising senior in high school this fall. Rick Chow walked out of that courtroom once again tonight, a free man after nearly 3 years behind bars.
Well, 3 years after the deadly shooting of 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Belton, the man charged in his death is now going to trial. Rick Chow is accused of murdering the teen outside a gas station that he owned on Park Lane Road. News 19's Kiki Gushu is now live in the studio and has more on what's ahead of this trial. Kiki.
This case dates back to Memorial Day weekend of 2023, when investigators say a confrontation over a suspected shoplifting turned deadly. May 28th, 2023. Authorities say 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Belton was shot down the street from a convenience store on Park Lane Road after store owner Rick Chow suspected him of shoplifting bottled water. Investigators say Chow and his son chased Cyrus toward the Springtree Apartments, where Chow fired a shot into the teen's back, killing him.
Dang.
The next day, Richland County Sheriff Leon Lott addressed the public.
We're charging the owner of the store, Rick Chow, with murder.
Chow turned himself in that afternoon.
Okay. So he did get to go home, rest with his family a little bit, and he knew he was going to go in. That's a tough feeling. They said they kept that man for 3 years. They kept him for 3 years, and he walked after knowing that he took a life, sitting in the jail cell, fighting for his freedom. Stone-faced mother, too. I ain't seen a smile, a crack, a hint of emotion.
That same day, the community gathered to protest and hold a vigil near the shooting scene as people mourned Cyrus's death.
Stop for a moment of silence for this young brother's life.
Overnight, the Shell gas station was ransacked and vandalized.
It's going to break you to lose water. It's just unbelievable.
And that's kind of where my mind is. You know, it's just water. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I wouldn't have I don't know. I would try to think my way through that situation. If I seen a little youngin come with the backpack, I probably would have moved towards the door and maybe pressed him at the door instead of letting him walk out the door. Or I would have had a sign, no backpacks, higher security. When you walk in, hey, you with the backpack. Nah, we not doing that. I would have tried to stop it before it happened. But I'm definitely not chasing you down the street.
On June 2nd and 3rd, Cyrus's family held a viewing and funeral.
I'm just heartbroken with the whole situation. Like, I really and truly am. This is devastating.
Over the next 2 years, Chow's attorneys filed multiple motions, challenging evidence, requesting bond, and arguing self-defense under South Carolina's Stand Your Ground law. The family also filed a civil lawsuit against Chow and related business entities. Bond was denied in 2023, and subsequent requests were also rejected.
Every day I wake up knowing that I will never see my son again.
I'm gonna be mature. What is going on with the dad's hair? That joint is that's crazy. That's different though. He got the slick joint on top with the fade on the side and the gray beard. But the joint on top, he dyed it joint black and left the beard gray. He doing his thug thizzle, I see.
I'll never be able to receive.
Sorry, rest in peace to your son. You know, I know it's a tragic time, but that's just different.
One of his loving type hugs. I'll never hear his voice that was just starting to get deeper. I'll never see him graduate high school or go to prom.
In November of 2025, a judge denied Chow's Stand Your Ground defense, clearing the way for the case to move to trial. In April and May of this year, Judge Heath Taylor also denied several other defense requests, including efforts to delay the trial. Now, nearly 3 years after Cyrus Carmack Belton's death, the case is entering its next phase, with jury selection set to begin Tuesday in Richland County.
Rest in peace to the young man, Cyrus. This is a horrible situation. Horrible situation. You know, you gotta try to do better as society, as a culture, as a people, all of that, man. Everybody just on edge. Everybody so violent. Everybody want to take matters into their own hands. I guess that's where we at though, for real, because we know the police ain't gonna do nothing.